I don't want to forget ideas, and I get stressed that I might forget them. So to alleviate the stress, I need a place to jot them down. Hi, and welcome to the Innovative Mindset Podcast. I'm your host, Isolde Trachtenberg. On the show, you get my conversations with peak-performing thought leaders, creatives, and entrepreneurs. We explore how you can innovate through creativity, compassion, and collaboration. I believe that innovation combined with compassion and creative thinking can save the world, and I aim to bring you ways you can do it too. If you're enjoying the show, I'd be super grateful if you can support it by buying me a cup of coffee. You can buy me a cuppa at buymeacoffee.com/Isolde T. And now, let's get on with the show. Hey there, and welcome to the Innovative Mindset Podcast. I'm your host, Isolde Trachtenberg, and I'm super happy that you're here, that you've taken the time to spend a little part of your day with me. I have just celebrated 400 episodes. This is a few more than 400 right now, and I'm still incredibly excited to be talking about innovation and creativity and how we can use both to change the world. One of the things that's been happening is, and one of the things that I find most gratifying, I'll be honest, is when someone takes the time to leave a review of the show. And I decided that I want to thank publicly the people who leave a show review. And this week it's from Joseph E. Bennett. Here's what Joseph had to say. "This is so damned inspiring. I just love this podcast. There's so much wisdom in what you, Isolde, and your guests bring forth and share so openly with us. Thank you muchly for all of it. And what an incredible accomplishment that you've just released the 400th. You're such a gift to all your listeners." Joseph, thank you so much for that wonderful review. I really appreciate it. And I am so grateful to you that you listen, and to the guests who come on the show and talk and give their wisdom so generously. I'm very happy, very thrilled, and very excited that I get to keep doing this. And I'm going to keep doing it as long as podcasts are around. Speaking of keeping the podcast around, this episode is brought to you by Brain FM, or rather Brain.fm if you go to the website. This is an app that I have been talking about a lot, actually. I love it. I use it every day. This app combines music and neuroscience, two of my little bits of catnip there, to help me focus, meditate, and even sleep. And what's really cool is that they just recently got an NSF, National Science Foundation, grant to study how Brain FM can be used to help patients in hospitals and other places where this neuroscience that really works with your brain's own superpower to 10x your ability to, as I said, meditate or focus, do creative things, sleep, whatever it is you're trying to do. Brain FM will likely be able to help you, I think. Anyway, if you listen to the show, and you do because you're here, you can get a free trial by going to brain.fm/innovative mindset, all one word. And if you love it as much as I do and you decide you want to get it for yourself, you can get a 20% off with this exclusive coupon code, and that is Innovative Mindset, again, all one word. And if you want to know more about Brain FM straight from the source, the company's CEO, Dan Clark, is next week's guest on the show. In fact, that's how I found out about Brain FM, is they asked if Dan could come on the show and talk about it. And I was so fascinated by what he was saying and what the app does that I have become an evangelist for it. I love, love, love it. And if you want to learn more about it next week, Dan Clark will be on the show. Alrighty, so now let's talk about this week's thoughts about ideas. If you're anything like I am, your mind is always going and your brain is always firing and tons of thoughts are coming at you every second of every day. I think, and you've heard me say this on the show before, we're hyperstimulated. We've got so much stuff coming at us, right? All the time. Everything from advertisements to your child who needs you to feed or change them, right? Everything, A to Z, it's coming at you all the time. And that can be cool because there are lots of opportunities for inspiration, for example, right? If there are lots of stimuli, then you can get inspired by some of them. But it can also be frustrating because the second something inspires you, something else comes in to take its place. And last, for me anyway, it can be daunting because the second you've got a new thought or idea, it can fly right out as fast as it came in because, again, something else came in. It's just gone. And that sort of begs the question, why keep all these ideas, right? What's in it for you to keep track of all those ideas from the hyperstimulation, from your own thoughts, from journaling, whatever it is that you're doing? You get these ideas. What's in it for you to keep them? So here are my thoughts about that. And I have a list. 1, it can clarify your stance on things, like what your perspective is, what your point of view is. 2, it can give you more fodder for what you're already working on, right? You can get new perspectives, new ways of doing things, new solutions, things like that. 3, it can give you clarity. You can get perspective on things that have been in a sort of a gray area, and what you need is clarity. You need to clear things up in your own mind. Those new ideas that you might get, those things that you might ponder, they're helpful for that. 4, they can help you innovate, make changes, gain focus, and even not do a thing if that's what you decide, right? By getting more information, by letting your mind wander, and by letting those ideas bubble up. But that's the thing. Because you have your ideas in one place, you do get to decide what you're going to do with them. And that brings me to not forgetting ideas, right? I don't want to forget ideas, and I get stressed that I might forget them. So to alleviate the stress, I need a place to jot them down. And I don't want it to be on paper, frankly, because I'm a notorious paper loser. I will lose a small piece of paper faster than you can blink. So I don't want to do that. But I also don't need an app specifically for this because there are plenty of those, right? But they all seem to have these huge processes, right? For in order to do that, you have to tap here and you have to click there and you have to do the hokey pokey. So I wanted something for fast ideas, and I don't need a big, lengthy step-by-step. I just need a place to jot them down. So it might be for me, and this is something to think about, what new ideas do you have? For me, it might be a new idea for a new product or a project or a book or a song or whatever my brain cooks up, right? Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm like, I have to remember this. And there again, one of the things that's really good is you can keep a journal by your bed or a notebook by your bed, and that's really great. But then you can't search it, and that's something I want to talk about in a minute. So this idea that you might have might be grand, it might be world-changing, or it might be a new thought that you want to put up on Instagram stories, or a new guest that, for me, that I might want to have on the show, right? It might be something I want to ponder that came to me during my journaling or meditation or while I'm riding the subway. It might be reading a book and I want a quick place to jot down a realization or an aha moment. Those happen to me all the time. And again, writing the notes in the margins of the book is really cool, except for you're messing with the book. But also, how do you search for them? Right? If you write a note in the margin of the book, you're going to have to go back and dog-ear the page. Oh, I dog-eared page 229 and now I want to find it again. That becomes a little problematic if all you need to do is go back real quickly and in a snap, get what you need to get. So I might need a space to do those ideas, or I might even need a spot to note down that tonight is recycling night, or that I have to remember to give my cat his meds, because Zephyr Kitten looks like he might be on meds for the rest of his life, because he doesn't make tears. The vet is a little confused about how that's happening. But anyway, so even if it's not a crucial project deadline, though it could be, if it's a quick thing to note and remember, I want to have somewhere where I can keep things and search them and figure all that stuff out. So whatever it is, I need a place and a way to categorize them quickly, because otherwise it's a time suck or a time waste, and I don't got time for that, right? So again, there are apps like Todoist or Clear or Asana or ClickUp or Trello, and they're all good, but many, with the possible exception of Clear, they're really complicated. And all I want to do is jot something down and keep track of a new idea. That becomes, again, more of a time suck than I want, when all I want to do is just get in there, write it down, get out. So I rolled up my sleeves and I made one for myself, and I'm going to share it with you. let me tell you about the World Changers Idea Document. That's what I decided to call it because, doggone it, I believe we can each change the world in our own little way. All it is, and I shouldn't say all it is because it was cool to come up with what I thought I needed. It's super simple, super easy to access as long as you have a Google account. And let's face it, many of us do. So it's a Google Sheet where you can place all the ideas, the ponderings, the little to-do things that bubble up for you during the day. You can access this document from the show notes page at https://isoldat.com/idea document. And basically, this document is around for you so you won't lose your ideas, ever. You'll always have a clean, easy to use, searchable space where all your best ideas go to be picked up and run with when you're ready, right? It's not a document I keep, for me personally, Isolde. It's something that I'm giving out to you for free just so that you can keep track of all your ideas so that they're there for you when you're ready for them. And basically, I never want to lose another idea again, right? So here's how to use it. First, go grab the idea doc and you'll notice that it's read only. And that way you get your very own copy and no one else who downloads the idea document can enter data on your copy and vice versa. That's why it's personal, it's private, it's all yours, and it's just my gift to you. And here's how to get yours. Once you're at the read-only document, go to File and then select Make a Copy. And then Google Sheets will make one for you and then rename it to whatever you want it to be. I like World Changers Idea Document just because I'm out to change the world. But you want to be sure that the folder says My Drive, because it's your drive then that you're saving to, not mine, not Isolde's, and rename it to whatever you want. Then you should just be able to use it. And the columns in it are simple. And actually, if you go to the show notes page, there's an image that shows you all that they are. They're not hard, but they're really useful, right? So the columns are simple. The first one on the left is date. That's the date you got the idea or the thing that you wanted to do or the thing that you wanted to think about. All you have to do on one line of the idea document is double click the cell in that date column and a date selector will pop up. And you can just note the date, choose that date, and then you move on. The next column is what did you think up? That's literally what it's called. Here's where you enter the idea, the to-do item, or the philosophical pondering about the nature of the universe that you want to think about. Whatever it is that you want to write in that slot, do that. The next column will help you categorize the 3 types that I wanted to keep track of. And again, this is designed to be super simple and easy. It's not something that's got a lot of different ways of doing it. It's really simple. The idea type column has these 3 possible choices. There's a delta for idea type. There's an infinity symbol for ponder this and an asterisk for do this. And you just choose one. So if you got an idea for a new project or a new product, or if you're a writer for a new book, you would select delta for idea because it's being in motion. The infinity symbol if you're like, oh, I've always wondered just how much lefties can use the right hand but don't, or how much righties can use their left hand but don't because society tells us we shouldn't use our left hand. Still to this day, unfortunately, I'm a lefty and there are still not as many accessible lefty-oriented products out there. That should change. Anyway, so then the last one is a to-do, right? It's really simple. It's like, oh, I have to remember to do this. So do it. And one of the things that you'll notice is that each category is color-coded, so you can easily see whether or not these are ideas mostly, or separate them out, the ideas or the to-do items or the ponderings, whatever it is. Personally, I love stats. I love figuring out that kind of thing, but also you can sort them and see all the ideas in one place or all the to-do items in one, in a row, if you will. And I like seeing all my ideas together because they often flow one into the other. And I like seeing all my to-do items together because then I know how to approach them and which ones I need to approach first. But you don't necessarily think of them that way. So this is a nice way to keep them all in one place that's easy to access and then sort them out so that you can see everything the way you want to. And here's my invitation to you. Anytime you get an idea, you head to your idea document and you note it down. So you'll never forget something important again, because how often they say, doggone it, I'm just gonna remember this. I will, and then it's gone, right? And you don't want that. You want it to be something that is readily available to you the next time you want it. So I wanted to make something a little bit easier for myself. I wanted to make it easy to access. So I've added a shortcut to the dock on my iPhone. That way I can access it super quickly whenever I need it. So the way to do that is you go to your idea document in Google Drive once you've copied it over. You tap the 3 dots or more and scroll down to copy link. You tap that, then go to the Shortcuts app that's on every iPhone. Tap the plus at the top right, then tap the 3 dots on the top right, and you'll see a screen that asks you for the shortcut's name. But first, tap Add Action, and then tap Apps. That should be in the top left corner. I hate it when they say tap this, but they don't tell you where it is, so you spend time looking. Scroll down until you see Safari, then tap Safari. Scroll down until you see Open URLs, tap that. Then paste the link that you'd copied before from the Google Sheets. Then tap Next. You should now see a shortcut with a cursor to the left of a grayed out shortcut name. Name it Idea Doc or Ideas, and then tap Add to Home Screen, and then tap Add. And a check mark should appear briefly on your screen that shows you that it happened. Tap Done, and then you can also select it to show in the share sheet or on your Apple Watch if you have one. So when you go back to your home screen, you should see your Ideas doc there, and it'll be like purple or blue, and there are 2 sort of vertical diamond type things on the icon. And now you can access it easily anytime you need to. I know that there's probably the same kind of thing for Android, but I'll be honest, I don't know how to do it. So if you happen to know how to add a shortcut to your home screen on an Android, do me a favor and let me know, and I'll add it to the show notes later. So here's the thing. Once you've done all this, I recommend that you go through your idea doc once a week to make sure there isn't anything that's fallen off your radar, and also to make sure that it doesn't get too cluttered with things you don't want or need to do anything with or about. This is to help you keep track of the things going on inside your head. Keep the best, lose the rest. Granted, these tiny ideas might not end up being world changers, but I'll bet many innovators and entrepreneurs and creatives have gotten ideas they've lost, right? I'm sure you have too. Oh, this is a great idea. I want to hold on. And it's gone. And I know that some people say that you'll remember the really good ones, so the ones you forget probably weren't that great to begin with, but I don't agree. I think the ideas deserve to have their own moment in the sun. You might put them down after you look at them a little bit more carefully, but you've got to give your imagination and creative impulse the benefit of the doubt, Give your subconscious a chance to float those ideas by you so you can take a look at them. And if you give yourself and those ideas the benefit of the doubt, that is when, you never know, some brilliant thing that you wanted to ponder or wanted to do or wanted to think up and create will be there for you to make it blossom. And the idea document is really the perfect way to do it. It's simple, it's easy to use, and it's all yours. If you have questions about how to do it or how to use it, drop me a line. You can find me, DM me at Isolde T on Instagram or Twitter. I'm at Isolde T there. Those are probably the 2 best places. Also, I'm at Isolde T on LinkedIn. Feel free. This document is my gift to you. I want you to go ahead and enjoy using it. And if you find wait, you know what? This could be improved upon. You can improve upon it. But if you want to tell me, I would love to improve upon it too. It's the bare basics of what I thought would be useful. But if you have something else that's useful, I would love to hear about it. All right, cool. So that is my thoughts about noting down the creative impulses and the ideas that we have so that we don't lose them and never lose another idea again. I hope that you've enjoyed this wee little episode. Next week, as I said, is Dan Clark, who is the CEO of Brain FM. And really, I would never endorse something that I didn't use and love, and I both use and love this app. I've found that it has just put my productivity and my creativity into the stratosphere. And considering my hypothyroidism and that I get tired pretty easily, it's really nice to feel like, yeah, I've got this. I can do all the things that I've been dreaming of doing because my brain works so much more efficiently and so much more creatively. I just love that. And, it ties really nicely into this idea document, because then all those creative things can go right into the idea document for me to get to when I need to. All right. If you enjoyed this episode, if you download the idea doc, I would love to hear from you. And if you really love the show, or even if you don't really love the show, just if you like the show, please go ahead and leave a review wherever you listen. I don't know how many different platforms allow you to leave a review. I know that Apple Podcasts does. So if you want to leave a review, I would love to hear from you, and also what you think of the idea document. And if you start using Brain FM and you want to let me know about that too, I would love to hear about that too. So until next time, I just want to tell you that I'm grateful that you're listening, and I hope that you've enjoyed the show and will continue to enjoy it for many years to come. Until next time, this is Isolde Trachtenberg for the Innovative Mindset Podcast, reminding you to listen, learn, laugh, love, and innovate a whole lot. Thanks so much for joining me today. I really appreciate you being here. Please subscribe to the podcast if you're new. And if you like what you're hearing, please review it and rate it and let other people know. And if you'd like to be a sponsor of the show, I'd love to meet you on patreon.com/innovative mindset. I also have lots of exclusive goodies to share just with the show's supporters there. Today's episode was produced by Isolde Trachtenberg and is copyright 2021. As always, please remember this is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Past performance does not guarantee future results, although we can always hope. Until next time, keep living in your innovative mindset.